Hi again, Glenda here. Thanks for joining me. Today we're doing the sacral chakra. So as I say in all of my videos that are going up now based on the chakra system, there is a warm-up and a video before this, and it actually says a warm-up, and there's also an explanation of the chakra system in case you're wondering. But we're working physically with our bodies through this series of going through all 7 major chakras of the body, and we're trying to just balance some things out. We're kind of stuck inside during this time, and so this is a good way to really release some of that energy. So one of my favorites is the sacral chakra, because it's about being free and having a little bit of fun and being who you are and expressing yourself. It also, just has a little bit to do with how we move our body in more like a flow movements or how do you move? Are you rigid? Are you able to let go? So there's lots of things that are involved with that. And you can begin this one, after maybe that you've done some of the root chakra stuff, but you don't have to do that. Maybe you just like to do the sacral chakra. So the color is orange. I have a lot of orange around. Orange is my favorite color. So it's about being a little bit creative and expressing yourself. So let's try to be a little bit creative and not so rigid in our movements today. Quite often we're, have to be here or have to be there, or foot is here or that is that. And we sort of get lost in how that pose might supposed to look or how yoga is supposed to be. But yoga is supposed to make you feel good, and it's a holistic practice, so feeling good in mind, body, and spirit. So just shake it up a little bit today. We're going to begin on the floor, so coming down to the floor and coming into Sukhasana, or seated pose. That feels good to you there. And sitting tall, maybe you're sitting on something, and that's all right too. But we're going to take a deep breath in. Sacral chakra is the element of water. Exhale. So it flows, and we know water flows downward. Inhale. And exhale, and we're trying to bring that energy upward, that flowing energy into the rest of our body, that creativity, maybe our sexuality, being comfortable with who we are. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to begin to make some circles with our body. So going around in circle, coming from that seat, so we're moving our root energy up into that space. Our sacral chakra, often we associate that with our mood. Our moods can change up and down sometimes, and regulating our sacral chakra allows for us to be more balanced in that area. Great. And then we're going to go back in the opposite direction. So close your eyes here if you're able to do that. There's no reason to keep them open. And then we'll sit straight and tall and take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, bringing your chin to your chest and shake your head from side to side like you're saying no. And then bringing it back up and inhale. And a nice long exhale here. And then coming to your hands and knees, so you can do that by coming over your feet or just bringing your legs around, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And inhale a breath as you lift your chin to the sky, tailbone goes up, belly sags. And as you exhale, rounding out, pulling your belly button in and your shoulders up towards your ears. And inhaling and coming up. And exhaling and rounding out. Inhaling up. Exhaling and rounding out. And breathing in and out. We'll begin to do those on your own for a moment, just feeling the movement of that, inhaling as you do the upward movement, exhaling as you close. Feel the body. Feel the movement. Move the spine. Move the hips. And wherever you are, coming back to that neutral position of tabletop. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, going into child position. And we're going to do that by swaying from side to side, opening up your knees if you need to. And while we're here, we're going to sway from side to side. Coming back to your hands and knees, inhale, curl the toes, and we're just stepping forward to the center of your mat. Coming into forward bend here. Release the arms, ground the feet, let the head release. As if you're releasing all the muscles in your neck. Feel the hips open. Bend your knees a little bit so things stay open. Inhaling as we bring our arms out and up. Palms will come together above your head. Turn the palms up towards the sky. Lace those fingers together. Inhale. As you exhale, going over to the right. Inhaling to center. Exhaling to the left. Inhaling to center, release the hands, bring them out and down to your side on the exhale. And bring them around behind your back as you lace your fingers together here. Inhale a breath, lift your heart. Exhale, taking your hands towards your feet and opening up. A little bit of a back bend here, feel that movement. Inhale it up. Exhale your arms to your side. Close your eyes in mountain pose for a moment. Feel your feet, your legs, your hips. Feel the spine opening up, reaching up through the crown of your head. Shoulders relaxed and down. One more breath here. It's grounded pose. Great, so here's where some fun starts, huh? We're going to take our feet a little bit apart from each other. And if we just take our hands to our hips here, we're going to begin to rock your hips forward. So it's just your pelvis coming forward, and then pelvis going back. So it looks a little bit like this from the side. You're pulling forward and back, and forward and back, and forward. And just feel this movement. Are you able to do it comfortably? What's going on in the body? What's going on in your mind as you're doing this, right? Inhale and exhale. Good. And then we're going to start to make some circles with those hips, right? So in whatever direction that you want to go first, it doesn't matter. So it's trying to just move the hips and not being like the whole body going around. So like belly dancers kind of do, right? Inhaling and exhaling through your nose as you go. Then you might be moving your knees a little to get those hips to rock around. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction. Get your hips to rock around, right? Good. Good. And then we'll separate our feet just a little bit more. So just to the outside of your hips here. We're going to inhale a breath and bring your hands together above your head. And palms together. We're going to see if we can put the butt of your hand where your wrist is right there on the top of your head. Stand tall, elbows out. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And then we're going to shift our hips over to the right. And then over to the left. And back and forth for a moment. Close your eyes if you can. Back and forth. Movement of the body. Good. And then gently start to make circles, whichever way you choose to go. Back the other direction. Good. And back to center. Inhale a breath. Reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale all the way out and down, coming forward to forward bend. So when we start moving our hips in all these different directions like that, we really feel that. We start, relax here for a moment, soften the knees again so that you're able to release here, releasing the head and neck, letting that lower back release. So our sacral chakra is located, right above the root, which is between the root chakra and our solar plexus chakra, which comes next. Inhale and exhale. Maybe bring a little creativity into your life. Adapting, adapt to change. And we'll inhale and bring the arms up and exhale to your heart. And then to mountain pose, so we'll step together here for that mountain pose and breathe in and out. Perfect. We're going to inhale a breath and raise your arms up to the sky, and then coming on to your tippy toes here. And not really your tippy toes, you're just lifting your heels, and it feels like that when you're here. Bringing that energy up. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale, arms down, bringing your heels down. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in and out. And then from here, inhaling a deep breath in, back bend, reach back, exhale, fold forward. We're going to step back or walk back into downward facing dog. So pushing into our down dog, pushing the heels towards the ground, not doing anything that feels wrong with your body, doing the best that you can. And if it's too much here for you, always coming down to your hands and knees, you can do that. Breathing in and out. And inhale. And as you exhale, taking your knees down to the ground, we'll go into child position. Top of your feet go down, hips to your heels, and arms at your side. And adjusting to whatever you need here. If it doesn't feel good to put your arms at your side, bring them out to the front. Maybe you put your head on a block. You can do that. Breathing in and out. And we'll gently lift your head and come all the way up. So bringing yourself back to that tabletop position. So we're going to do a couple of poses here that we call yin poses. And yin poses are just poses that we might hold a little bit longer. And they're work deep in the fascia. So we're working in our hip area, here. So we want to just work in that fascia, in that connective tissue to open up the space of our hips. So that's why we're going to do a couple of yin postures here. And we're going to do something that's called a dragon. So we want to take our right leg and we're just going to bring that right leg forward. So if we bring it forward straight, the heel is here, and then we bring the knee up and over that heel, then we have some space here between the front and the back. And this we do want to try to open up as much space as we can. So curling the back toe, if you lift your back knee and maybe, squeegee or push that foot back a little bit, put the toe back down, knee back down, and put the toes on top of your foot back down. And then gently we're going to take ourselves into what we call dragon by bringing our hands to the same side. So we have our left hand, our right hand, and then our right foot. We're going to gently bring this down. So if you can get all the way down to your forearms, you want to drop your head and release here. We're going to stay here. If it's not good for you, there are things that you can do here. You can always stay here. You can do things like staying here and just gently bending the elbows until your body adapts and opens and releases some of that fascia that we're talking about. So we're going to stay in this pose for a moment. So we want to take some deep breaths in and out. And then release everything that you can. So we're trying not to be having tension and not to be strict on our bodies as well. So whatever adaptations that you need to make them. So in yin, we might stay here for like 5 minutes, and today we're not going to stay for 5 minutes. You're probably thinking, thank God, right now. But we're going to stay for a moment to allow for the release. And then we'll walk this up. So bringing it up. If you shift your hips back towards that back foot and lift your right toes to the sky so the heel is down, we can gently come over this front leg, so we give that a little bit of opening as well. Hands can go wherever you like them to go, doing the best you can here. And then we'll bring that right foot back. I do it by bringing it in and around. You can bring it in and around or out and around, whatever works for you the best. We want to take our hips and movement from side to side here. Movement from side to side. Good. And then we're taking the other leg up. Same thing here. If we straighten the leg, bring the heel down, bend the knee, bring the knee over the heel, lift the back knee up, move it back, lift it, put it back down so that we have space. So finding your maximum space, you can always move it back up. So whatever works for you. Hands on the same side, so now it's your left foot, left hand, right hand. Inhale. Exhale, and release this by coming down. You can come down into whatever position feels good and right to you. Let the head release. So we'll release a little bit of our fear and guilt here. Inhale and exhale. So that would be, like our emotional side of our sacral chakra. But our hips and low back are also part of that sacral chakra, and if we can release those, we release a lot of tension in our bodies. Our bodies work well and better. Breathe in and out. And then we'll gently walk this up. We're going to, the left toes come to the skies, our hips go back, and we're opening up that space, coming forward over that front leg. And we'll bring it around. Again, you can take it this way if you choose, out and around. And we're going to come into child position. Lift your head and body, bring it around. We're coming to sit again. We're coming to bound angle. And in yin yoga, bound angle is called butterfly. And the first thing that we're going to do when we get here is we're going to flutter our butterfly. So fluttering is just moving your knees. And we're feeling that a little bit in the hips. We feel those muscles. We were trying to work in that connective tissue deep in there. And so not flapping, right? Just little flutters. Sit tall, take a breath in. Exhale, shoulders down and away from the ears. On the next inhale, lift your knees up towards your arms and squeeze the arms. And on the exhale, pressing those knees towards the ground. Inhale and bring them up. And exhale and down. And bring them up. Inhale. And exhale and down. Breathe in. And as you exhale, bringing the heart forward, elbows out and over the shins, coming forward as far as you can, and then letting the head release. And slowly lifting the head and the shoulders and coming up. We're going to come to lie down on the mat, bringing the knees to the sky. We'll take them out a little bit towards the edge of the mat, arms out like a T. Inhale. As you exhale, knees going to the right side. Turn your head to look to the left. Breathe in and out. Inhale, take them back to the sky. Exhale, take them in the opposite direction, looking over the right, and then inhale and exhale. And then back to center, big breath in. We'll lift those knees in towards your shoulders. Flex your feet. Exhale here. And we'll go into happy baby. Now there's different ways to do that. You can take your hands to the outside of your feet. You can bring your arms to the inside of your knees and hold on to the arch of your foot. Or if you're unable to get your feet in that direction, you can also hold on to your ankles or the backs of your knees. Or just keep yourself right here. So there's different ways that you can do this. So I'm going to reach to the outer edges of my feet, and you might try to do that first. We'll take the bottoms of your feet up to the sky. And then your knees are going to come out and down towards the ground. So we're just gently using the gravity of our arms. So if we just let that release, the gravity down to the ground, like our elbows, our shoulders, our back, and our knees are going towards the ground. Inhale and exhale here. So we're just breathing in and out of the nose. Don't hold your breath, and if anything feels wrong, you can just bring your feet back to the ground. And we'll release that, feet to the ground here. Inhale a breath. And on your exhale, just gently straighten your legs out, turn your palms to the sky, and we'll go into Shavasana from here. Now, back of your head grounded to the ground, keeping your chin from being flexed or extended, and ground. And we might just imagine how the flow of our body works. We talk a little bit about sometimes being in the flow. It's like when things are just perfect and right, and it's just like everything's in sync, and synchronicity and equilibrium are just happening. We're in the flow, right? Maybe we can find some flow during this time. And I'm going to leave you guys here in Shavasana. You can stay as long as you choose. Enjoy. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.